Hi guys, Brain here. Welcome to another commentary video. I'm a little bit mad about this one. This one's kind of a frustrating video. This is an event video for me. So go ahead and buckle up because I'm going to start ranting about how my opinion changed about a certain map in the game. So let's go ahead and get started. Before we get started, make sure that you do the like down below to let me know that I am doing a good job. Give me that good old thumbs up if you think I'm a great paisano, you know, whatever. If that was I'm getting better at these, I promise. And if you want to see more of my daily uploads, please do the subscriber only. Almost did the thumbs up thing again. The subscriber only, so you can see more of my daily uploads. Other than that, let's go ahead and get started. So I used to not mind Eyrie of Crows. I don't think I was ever at a point where I liked Eyrie of Crows. I don't think I was at any point where I was like, man, this map's banging. I love this map. I don't think I was ever at that point. But I preferred it over, like, you know, Batum and the game and Swamp and that sort of thing. I preferred it over those maps. But like, the more I've played it since it's been out, the more I've come to realize that this map is pain. I think that what was happening is when I was perking out Nurse, when this, like, the Artist came out and all that came out. So I was basically playing Artist and Nurse, which are very similar characters, actually. So I was basically playing characters that didn't have to worry about the problems that the map had at the time of release. But then I finished perking out Nurse, and then I moved on to playing like Billy, and then I moved on to Trapper. Now I'm on Pyramid Head. And I think once I stopped playing characters that, you know, just had good map mobility and good chase, Eyrie of Crows really started to like show its sore spots. Because whenever I go to that map with a 110 killer or with an M1 killer, it's pain. It's absolute pain. And this is not the only map in the game that is like this. There are multiple maps in the game that have this same design problem philosophy of like, we're just gonna make this huge freaking map. We're just gonna make this huge map, this ginormous map. And we're just gonna make it a big, long football field. You're just gonna make it a big, long football field. And we're just gonna put tons and tons of pallets, tons and tons of jungle gyms, and a strong main building. And you just gotta globetrot anytime you wanna do freaking literally anything. Like, if you, like, I hate spawning in on, like, for example, another good map that's like this is Family Residence, Yamaoka. Yamaoka's Family Residence is also built almost the same way as Eyrie of Crows, where it's not really a huge map like Mother's Dwelling, but it's so long that everything is so out of your way to get to. And it's why I don't like playing on that map. Speaking of Yamaoka, this map also has a similar issue to the Yamaoka maps that makes it super frustrating to use killer powers on. So on the Yamaoka maps, it's kind of like a bad matchup if you get like Billy, Blight, Huntress, basically anybody who needs to utilize corners or slide along walls for any reason, because they put these little like notches like on the walls, right? So if you're playing Billy or Blight and you're trying to fly by it, you're gonna hit those little notches on the wall. If you're playing Huntress and you're trying to snipe somebody around a corner last second, you're gonna hit the little notch on the wall instead of the survivor at the corner. There's a lot of those places on Eyrie of Crows. A lot of the tiles are very oddly misshapen, and it's definitely on purpose. I can't say it with full confidence, right? Because like I don't talk to the devs, but like the design philosophy lately with like new maps and map reworks has been to add those little like notches or add like a barrel on the side of a loop with a lot of like the remakes to try and prevent characters like Blight, Huntress, and Billy, who, you know, utilize sliding along those corners or shooting a projectile right along those corners and putting something in the way. And Eyrie of Crows has like a lot of those like tiles that are just oddly misshapen, have something sticking out, and you're gonna hit those instead. It also has the Yamaoka problem where some of the bushes like you can like kind of walk through and others you just can't, and it's like weird because you got to figure out which ones have collision and which ones don't. And it's just like, I don't know. I feel like Huntress, Billy, and Blight are all characters that, while easy to get into, are incredibly hard to master. So to intentionally like block and make their lives more frustrating doesn't really make sense to me, because they're already characters with incredibly high skill caps. So like, if somebody can hit a corner, Huck Tech, and glide along a wall and hit them on the other end of a corner as Blight, that's a skillful play. That's awesome. That's cool. That's like, whoa, you did that. Or if a Billy with double engravings comes around the corner and then zooms down the wall and chainsaws somebody, that's a really hard thing to do. You know, they should be rewarded for that. But like, for some reason, like on these maps, they just like to intentionally try to like block that. And it seems like with their design philosophy of their remakes and the new maps we're releasing, they're trying to block those kind of plays. And I just don't understand why they're doing that. Like, it's just what? I don't understand the design philosophy. I just don't. And so that, in addition with what I mentioned earlier, with it just being a super long wide map, should have just played a map mobility killer forehead. It's just a miserable map. It's just a really, really miserable map. And I don't know. I kind of hate it now. Like, I used to like not mind this map too much, but it's getting up there with maps that I dislike a lot, just because it, like, I think that, and it's not even just this map, right? Like, so many maps in this game have that issue of like the map's just too big. And I say this like I feel like every other video I talk about, but like the only thing DBD does well compared to other games is the chase. The chase is the only thing that's unique to Dead by Daylight. But when you have these ginormous maps where it's so easy to just like not see people, I feel like the reason I'm talking about this is because I got Eyrie of Crows 4 times in a row on my Monday stream, I think was what it was. And like there were like in like 3 out of those 4 matches, there was a player I didn't see until the end. Like literally there were players that just like I saw them over on the left side of the screen, but they just like didn't exist until the end of the game because the map's so wide and long. And I just like didn't even see them. They just were able to successfully avoid me the entire game, because unless I was a high mobility killer like Nurse, Billy, Blight, I'm just not gonna run into that person. I'm just not. Because like I can't globetrot as like Myers, like it's just not going to happen. And I hate that. I hate that so much. It's like every map that's too big, I wish was just shrunk down. Not even a lot, just like a little bit. Just a little bit. That way we can actually like interact more. But it feels like on these big, long, wide football field maps, like we don't really get to interact with each other because there's so much globetrotting you gotta do as killer to even like see anybody. It's just depressing. And I think it's just unhealthy for the game to have maps that encourage that kind of like hide play style. So, thank you so much for watching, friends. I really, really appreciate you spending time with me today. And if you want to see tomorrow's video, it's the same time tomorrow. I do daily uploads, so they're still a coming. And if I don't see you there, I'll see you when I see you, friends. Goodbye.